if she wouldn't do that, she'd be fine. Or I don't know why he does that. He's not thinking clear. We love to point out the weaknesses of others. That's exactly what the enemy does. But keep calm. He knows your weaknesses. 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verses 9 and 10. But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you. My power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me. That is why, for Christ's sake, I delight in weaknesses, in insults, in hardships, in persecutions, in difficulties. For when I am weak, then I am strong. A 10-year-old boy felt as though he had lost his identity when he lost his left arm in a devastating car accident. After 6 months of adjusting to this handicap, he decided to study judo, despite the fact that he only had one arm. The boy began lessons with an old Japanese judo master. The boy was doing well, so he couldn't understand why, after 3 months of training, the master had only taught him one move. Sensei, the boy finally said, shouldn't I be learning more moves? This is the only move that I know. This is the only move you need to know. But this is the only move you'll ever need to know, the sensei replied. Not quite understanding, but believing in his teacher, the boy kept training. Several months later, the sensei took the boy to his first tournament. Surprising himself, the boy easily won his first 2 matches. The third match proved a little more difficult, but after some time, his opponent became impatient and he charged. The boy deftly used his one move to win the match. Still amazed by his success, the boy was now in the finals of the tournament. This time his opponent was bigger, he was stronger, and he was more experienced. For a while, the boy appeared to be overmatched. Concerned that the boy might get hurt, the referee called a timeout. He was about to stop the match when the sensei intervened. He said, no, he insisted. Let the boy continue. Soon after the match resumed, his opponent made a critical mistake. He dropped his guard, and instantly the boy used his move to pin him. The boy had won the match and the tournament. He was the champion. On the way home, the boy and the sensei reviewed every move in each and every match. Then the boy summoned up enough courage to ask him what was really on his mind. Sensei, how did I win the tournament with only one move? His master replied, you won for 2 reasons. First, you've almost mastered one of the most difficult throws in all of judo. And second, the only known defense for that move is for your opponent to grab your left arm. You see, the boy's biggest weakness became his greatest strength. It is human, it is natural for us to question God. Why am I going through this? Why is this happening to me? We must be assured with our scripture this morning that He knows our weaknesses. And when we are weak, then are we made strong. You see, sometimes in our life, the only way God can get us to our knees is to knock us down to our knees. Woo! The key is when we get down there, we need to proclaim and remind the enemy who we are. For when we are weak, we are strong, because our master teacher knows our weaknesses. So when the enemy comes around and he tries to condemn us, and he tries to remind us of what our weaknesses are and what we used to be and where we used to go and what we used to do, we need to remind him back. He loved me when I was unlovable. He touched me when I was untouchable. He moved me when I was unmovable. He changed me when I was unchangeable. He reached me when I was unreachable. And He believed in me when I didn't even believe in myself. And He found me when I couldn't even find myself. You see, God has to knock us to our knees sometimes so we can get a hold of Him and not let go. So we can remind the enemy that it was God that sought us out. It was God that gave us an out. It was God that brought us out. To remind us that we're not the same person that we used to be.